Super. Moral of the story is figure out where the on-off button is, right? Yeah. So thank you all for joining this session post-lunch. Try to keep it as light as possible. A very interesting topic about innovation and security and how the interplay between the two of them. Maybe I'll just set the context and then I'll leave my fellow panelists to kind of take over from there. So, I've been in the industry longer than I care to admit. And 40 years ago, when we used to develop software, it used to be shipped on tapes, literally. You know, you wrote the software, cycles were 1 year before, you shipped the software out and the client installed it maybe another year later. And then you got feedback a year later. By then, you collected your bonus and promotion and went to the next role and handed over the bugs to somebody else. A lot of things changed in the mid-90s when typically what happened was the moment you put software up there on the web, 15 minutes later, somebody had downloaded it. 30 minutes later, lots of bugs were starting to get filed on it. So world moved from many years to kind of instant. And in many ways, I think this innovation and security, the conundrum is something like that, okay? So the question is it innovation versus security, or innovation against security, or innovation and security? That's the way I kind of think about it. And obviously, we know what the answer is, obviously, innovation and security. So I've got a great panel with very varied views, both experienced people in this space of security. So what I would request them is, maybe talk about what do they think of how this whole landscape is changing very quickly, and how do organizations balance innovation and security? First, maybe, what are the challenges? And maybe Rajesh, will start with you, and then Srini, you can take it over.
Okay. I'm T R Rajesh, with the industry for 30 years, of which 28 years with IBM, now Kyndryl. It's a good time to talk about the challenges after just having the lunch. If you look at that, we heard about space and security. We heard about IoT and also security. And we also get lots of products. Then finally, we heard about data and security. Then just now we heard about we are going to recruit you using AI and with a blockchain technology. Correct? Everything is happening. That means at the end of the day, somebody coding it, somebody looking at, who is looking at that? Then one of the biggest challenge in today's digital, or I can say that borderless digital landscape, that's where we are in. So there are many challenges. Every organization has a challenge, including us. Now, when we talk about the digital innovation, and then one of the biggest challenge, the innovation versus security. So what is that innovation versus security? We are talking about bring artificial intelligence, machine learning, Gen AI, or discriminative AI, everything we are trying to bring up. From our perspective, from cybersecurity world perspective, I talk about then, are you enhancing the attack surface, or are you using that technology to reduce the attack surface? So I can use it for both coin actually. Then, and if I look at that, one of the biggest one, innovation versus security, how you control that. The second one of the biggest one, everything is centered around data. And it's data is created everywhere. Then coming the biggest one about cyber regulations. And across the country, across the globe, there are 171 countries which came up with data privacy regulations. And it's all, we don't know what is that. Then there is no centralized, or there is no synchronized way who created the regulations. Then the other one, the technological changes. Then, and how do I balance between my business, and how do I balance between my security? This is the biggest challenge. But if I talk about an organization, while these are the common challenges, but we don't know what is happening in our world. The visibility is the biggest threat for all of us. We know that we are using the solution either to solve a problem or innovate something or touching the human lives. We know everything is going through this innovation, correct? But do you have the visibility That is the biggest challenge which every CIO, CTO, or CEO face today. With that, I just hand over back to you.
Thanks. Could I just say ditto and then leave it at that, or do I have to add something in? That was really deep insight. So let's look at it from a different angle from where I'm looking at it. Uh, where does innovation and security, like how VLK was talking about, is it a versus or is it with? For us, the challenges lie in the rapid technology change, the legacy systems, and then trying to center for the customer as well. So the kind of risk, kind of friction that you're trying to introduce with these cybersecurity measures that we're coming in with. We all know quite a few examples of how these data breaches and legacy systems are causing so many millions and millions of dollars of losses. Maybe the most famous ones that come to mind could be maybe Target Corporation that lost out about 40 million credit and debit cards. And that was about 40 million credit cards and debit cards, right? And it was all because of their legacy point of sale systems. In 2021, as latest as that, a Colonial pipeline was actually put up to ransom where their pipeline was shut down and they had to pay a ransom of $4.4 million. And of course, needless to say, they had to spend about $200 million on their cybersecurity to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Now, so when we are talking about legacy, we are talking about rapid technology invention. I mean, literally how VLK was talking about, even something that might have been developed a couple of years ago now is being considered as old or needs to get an improvement or needs to get an update. And that's where the balance between innovation and security comes in. How do you move with the velocity that you need to while balancing and protecting the customer's data and the data that you're using to gain that kind of innovation? And that's where I guess there are a lot of solutions, there are a lot of things that are there, but and we can talk about that again. But just to answer the question, I guess that balance, while trying to ensure customer is at the center of it and taking care of legacy point of sale systems and doing very quick technology advancements, I think is the key to how we can talk about whether it's innovation versus security or innovation with security.
Wonderful. Thanks. Great insights, guys. I think data visibility and the balance is so you guys have a very ring-side view of the industry, right? Your company operates in what, 130 countries, looks at zillions of clients across, similarly with Kyndryl. So what are the best practices people use, in innovating and balancing this at the same time? So what do you guys see from your perspective? Rajesh, you want to go first?
Okay, that's a good one, and it's a boardroom discussion. And when we enhance into global arena, how do I protect my cross-border data? Okay, that's one of the biggest challenge which everyone faces, and everyone has to look at that. Then the second one, how do I meet the different privacy regulations or localized regulations? Even India have DPDP coming, and even all the regulations have its own requirements. And you cannot host some of the data outside of India for some of them. And one of the biggest challenge what we look at that, anything which we develop from an organization perspective, the security by design, it's already inculcated into the organizational approaches. Plus, and the cyber control is one of the biggest focus area because we are a managed services company. Then these are the two elements which we put it into practice and with a good education and awareness and also ensuring the protection through technical and operational measures. These are some of the area which you need to be aware and take care of that. This is a boardroom discussion.
That's nice, actually. You talked about security by design. I was going to talk about privacy by design. So great that you put in there. So that's about use of AI use of data. Let's even look at how we can actually solve these. I think one of the biggest things is user awareness, employee awareness. What kind of dangers or issues that might arise with taking maybe slight shortcuts or giving up security for velocity. And once that awareness comes in, we have a more, an employee who's really looking after user data as if it's their own. Now, the second part of it is really collaboration between all the units in the company, whether it's business, whether it's IT, whether it's security, whether it's engineering. When they all come together, when they're talking about it, is when they understand what kind of solutions do they come up with and what will be the right one to implement. And then it comes with keeping in view and in line with all the compliance and regulatory policies that come up. There are, like VLK was talking about the speed and how software is being deployed, the regulatory needs and policies are also changing. Each country has its own, each country is changing their policies as well so that it can take care of those new risks that are coming up. And actually, that's where I think I can quote our experience. Diligent is a SaaS company that offers GRC solutions completely into governance, risk, and compliance. And we have compliance suites that help companies, board of directors, boards, to actually take care of all their regulatory needs, look into risks that might be coming up, report them, audit them, and take care of all kind of efforts to ensure that they are all compliant while taking away the human error in dealing with these. In fact, we have a big bank in North America, wherein we took up this effort, and we digitized everything for them and brought in our products, including everything from policy management and compliance management and audit and risk. And they were able to see a 40% increase in their compliance, 30% decrease in needs to take care of their new compliance needs, and a 15% increase in stakeholder trust within a year of our solutions being deployed. So I think the core will be on how we can then use technology and innovation itself to handle security in a way where we are responsible, like how Rajesh, you were talking about, security by design, and I was saying privacy by design. We build these into our solutions, and that helps us to not only innovate, but do it with security and with customer being at the center of all of this.
Fantastic. I think great perspectives from both of you. Truly appreciate it. So we're running out of time. I can ask you many more questions, and we can spend the whole day on this topic. But we'll open the floor out for a couple of questions. If not, I'm more than happy to continue the conversation. So we'll take 2 questions, if any. We have not planted any questions. So.
Okay, no question means it's a good, and
No question means it's not good. So, yeah. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Maybe not a question, but just a comment. One of the things, Rajesh, you were talking about is the regulation.
We'll share the mic. Don't worry.
Not loud. Oh, okay, better now. I'm Srinjoy Banerjee from Lexorbis. So I am in the data privacy and cybersecurity space. So one of the points that you were making just now was on the regulations that are coming up, the data privacy regulations, cybersecurity regulations. One of the themes of all regulations all around is that there are some basic principles, ethical principles that we have to adopt. So one of the things that obviously one does is create a baseline of all those regulations and build on that, because there are tweaks that we have to do, but the baseline still remains the ethical standards and the principles of basic principles of privacy and cybersecurity. Just a comment.
You're right. If you look at today, I will not say one of the best, and all the privacy regulations started a little more enhanced after that. Everyone knows about the GDPR and its penalty associated with that. That has already created a kind of baseline. And if you look at all these 171 countries' privacy regulation, either I am picking 1 or 2, I am not adding anything new. other than those details. That's you can take it as one of the baseline for us to look at it.
But between GDPR and DPDPA, for example, GDPR talks about more principles, more legitimate uses, legal uses. But for us, we have to look at it differently because DPDPA is only consent-based. So those are the nuances that we have to take care of. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you guys can take it offline. It seems to be a PhD topic, the way I can look at it.
I agree.
Yeah. Any further questions? No, thank you. I think we got the signal, time's up. So wonderful talking to you guys, great perspective. Thank you all, you've been a great audience. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.